Hey friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to week 67 of my Mounjaro journey. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Huber, also known as Solo Travel Girl, and since June of 2022, I've been using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes, and I've also been documenting this experience here on YouTube. Now, since that time, I've lost about 60 pounds. I've lowered my A1C from 8.2 to 5.4. I had high blood pressure, but I no longer have high blood pressure, so I no longer take high blood pressure medication. I have high cholesterol. It is borderline. It's getting so much better. So I still take a statin for that, but I'm weaning myself off of that. And then I did have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and I have reversed that since being on Mounjaro. So Mounjaro really has been a game changer in my life. So before I get into the week 67 update, I just want to remind you about my disclaimer that I'm not a healthcare professional and I'm just sharing my personal experience and opinion about using Mounjaro to manage my type 2 diabetes. Also, I have no relationship with the drug manufacturer, Eli Lilly or Lilly, whatever they go by. And I have no relationship with any pharmacies or clinics or any entity that is selling Mounjaro. I know my images have been used to promote Mounjaro with these clinics or pharmacies or whatever. I don't even know what they are, but I have no relationship with them whatsoever. I'm just a user just like you, a patient just like you, I guess you can say. All right, so yeah, so I am entering week 67 of Mounjaro. I started that injection on Friday at the 7.5 milligram dose. And if you saw the title of this post, yeah, basically I went a week without Mounjaro because if you tuned into last week's video, and I'll put a link up here, um, I really didn't have an injection last week because I did a really dumb thing. I forgot to take the cap off before I injected myself. And by the time I realized the error of my ways, the Mounjaro was gone. I mean, I did try to rub it on me, and I'm not sure if it got into me or not, if my body absorbed it. But anyway, I did not have an injection of Mounjaro last week. So let's talk about numbers and I'll get back to talking about how that week went. But so yeah, I did gain a pound this week and I'm not mad about it. I know my weight is going to be fluctuating. Am I going to gain the 10 to 20 pounds that my doctor says I'm going to gain? No, I'm not going to let that happen. I know what I need to do and I'm just giving myself grace. It's been a couple of weird weeks. And speaking of, I want to say thank you to those who reached out with condolences for the loss of my aunt. I do appreciate that. Um, but anyway, yeah, I'm at 133 pounds, which I really can't believe. If I get back up to 140 or 145, I still would not believe it. I can't believe it right now. So I did gain a pound this week. And again, I'm a-okay with that. I do have my notes. Um, exercising was walking my dog twice a day. And then I did some lawn work this week. Yes, I did have to cut the grass because it's been raining in Southwest Florida, but hopefully I don't have to cut the grass again for a really long time. There is just one patch I need to cut, but hopefully the grass is going to slow down and growing. And I also trimmed up one of my palm trees. So yeah, that's all a lot of work. I do still have some edging to do and I need to deal with my front greenery and shrubs, but just good old fashioned exercise that's really good for the soul and good for the body. So, glucose. So, I'm going to do a screenshot here from the Livongo app. Livongo. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the name of the app. I know it's Liv, but you could see Livongo. That's it. So Tuesday and Wednesday, my glucose was in the 80s. And remember, I did not have the 7.5 milligram injection. And then Friday, before I injected myself with 7.5, my glucose was 70. And then yesterday it was 82. And then today it was 69, which prompted the telehealth doctors associated with the app to reach out to me to make sure I was okay. Now they reached out with a text message. To them, 69 seems like a low glucose. However, my doctor says anything as low as 50 in the morning is okay. So basically, I just texted back that I was doing okay. and that I was going to eat some breakfast, which was true. And they wanted to make sure that I was getting some immediate glucose into me to get my glucose level up. But everything is a-okay with that. So without being on Mounjaro for that week, my glucose was still in the normal range, and I don't want to say that was even fasting because I didn't fast. I actually had some caramel sauce and apples around 10 o'clock because I had a really late dinner on Thursday. So around 10 o'clock, I'm eating my little snack. So I thought that was going to spike my sugar, but it didn't in the morning. And then last night, I kind of ate late as well, and it was 69 today. So that's pretty incredible. I guess my body is adjusting and metabolizing, and my liver is doing its thing, and it's all wonderful stuff. Mounjaro, you are magical, even though I've been frustrated about being able to get the supply. But yes, it has been quite wonderful in the glucose realm. What else do I have to talk about? Nutrition. I'm still being mindful, and I do have those days, party days, as my trainer used to say. I'm because last week I did not have my injection, though. I did feel hungrier than I have felt in previous weeks during this whole time. And I try to be mindful as to what I put in my body to satisfy that hunger. And for the most part, I mean, I didn't go to any fast food, which was exciting. I did give in to the diet soda craving, even though I've been weaning myself off. I mean, before I started Mounjaro, it was 4 or 5 cans of diet soda a day, which that is insane. And I know it's totally bad for you, but now I'm maybe down to 1 or 2 a week. And yeah, Friday. So Friday I had my injection, and I injected myself around 6 o'clock in the morning. Come noontime, I felt really nauseous. And then I just felt that way for the rest of the day and into the evening when I came home. And I got thinking about it. I know there's like a half life with Mounjaro in that. And so I went a week without Mounjaro, and then I injected myself with 7.5. So perhaps that was a little bit of a shock to my system going from 0 to 7.5. But it didn't make me so sick that I threw up or anything. So that was okay. And then that carried over a little bit into Saturday. And then honestly, today I do feel a little nauseous as well, and just little stomach blah. But so that was the side effects of taking the Mounjaro, the 7.5, after being off of it for a week. So I do want to say thank you to those in the comments. I know, David, you were one of them, and I'm sorry I can't remember the other person's name, but you said that perhaps I should talk to my doctor about going back on the 10 milligram of the Mounjaro and then inject myself like every 8 days or 9 days rather than every week. So basically, it extends the life of Mounjaro, and it saves on my budget. So I'm going to look into that. I actually do have 2 prescriptions on file for 5 milligram and 10 milligram that I can actually just go renew anytime. And I can see if perhaps I can get 3 boxes. But I know my doctor, she said she wanted me to stay at 7.5 milligrams. So we shall see. Which reminds me, I think it's almost time for me to order another box. I mean, I know I have a full box in my refrigerator, and I think I have one more pen left. But I like to order about a month ahead of time just because of the supply issues. And honestly, I haven't even looked to see if there are still supply issues. I hope there are no supply issues. But anyway, that's all I have this week. I do have a video posting later this week on I made pumpkin pie flavored ice cream, and it's pretty simple. It has no dairy in it, which makes it really vegan, and it's low sugar. Basically, it has cold canned coconut milk, it has pumpkin puree from the can, pumpkin pie spice, vanilla extract, and then maple syrup. So it's all pretty simple, and I put that into my personal ice cream maker, which I learned after I filmed my video that apparently they don't make them anymore, but there's different kind of personal ice cream makers that this particular company makes. It's Dash, the Rise by Dash personal ice cream maker is what I have. But anyway, it just hit the spot. It just felt like eating a frozen pumpkin pie with this recipe. So I'm excited for you to check that recipe out if you have your own personal ice cream maker. And if you don't, you could just like double the recipe or something to fit your ice cream maker. But that's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your comments and thank you for your support. Thank you for following me on this journey. Now, just remember that my journey is going to look different than your journey, and your journey is going to look different than someone else's journey. So please don't compare yourself to me or to anyone else. You're just going to find your own path with Mounjaro, and just stay the course and just do what's best for you. And most importantly, you keep in touch with your doctor. My quick advice if you're just starting out on Mounjaro is to definitely stay hydrated with water. Make sure that you're moving more. Make sure you're watching what you're putting into your body, especially that you're putting in a balanced meal. I know you're not going to have much hunger, but stay away from fatty, greasy foods. Trust me, you don't want that. Stay away from carbs, but make sure that you're getting your roughage in there so things can move slowly throughout your body, if you get my drift. All right, everyone. Well, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as always, I hope you have an awesome week and be kind to others, but most importantly, please be kind to yourself. All right, catch you next time. Bye bye.